getting accuracy in your patchwork is absolutely vital to a beautiful product at the end. So what I want to just explain to you, in case there's people who aren't sure how to make sure they're stitching a 1/4 inch seam, is to just give you a little tip on testing out your sewing machine to see exactly where we are. So take a piece of paper, not a piece of fabric. Paper's obviously a lot sturdier, so we're not going to get any distortion with the shape. Place it under your sewing machine foot and put your lever down and just stitch, I don't know, like 2 or 3 inches really, that's all. So you're thinking, well, I'm sure mine's a 1/4 inch, so I'm going to have a look. So I've got a black thread in so that you can see exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Take a rule, not a tape measure. You need something that's like sturdy. So a bigger rule or a small rule, whichever you've got. And what you need to do is measure from the edge of the stitching here, your stitching line, to the edge of your paper. And you'll see this is just over a 1/4 inch. It's in between 1/4 and 3/8. Don't worry about this, you know, all these fractions, it's okay. We just need a 1/4 inch seam. So what this tells me is my needle, which is that where it's stitched, is too far away from the edge of my patchwork. So what you do now, you either get a 1/4 inch foot for your sewing machine, or you move your needle across. Now I can't talk about every make of every machine, but you will have a zigzag feature on your machine. And if you make your needle, if it's too big like mine is, make it go right, and that will make you seem smaller. And that's usually the case. So you need to know where that is, just to move over your zigzag position. So you're moving your needle to the right, I am, because this section of what I'm stitching is too big. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with my piece of paper and I'm going to stitch at a 1/4 inch. So I've moved my needle over and I'm ready to stitch my 1/4 now. So away we go. And if you are using a 1/4 inch foot, don't assume it's correct. Still do this test, because sometimes, you know, I don't know, things happen. So now we've got the stitched line, and this is the edge of our fabric, it would be. I'll put it on the same way as I did before. And you can see that the stitching line is exactly a 1/4 inch from the edge of the paper. So that is the position you need to stitch all of your patchwork together. That's all you need to know. The maths has all been done for you. So if you've moved your zigzag across, write it down. Write the settings down on your sewing machine, because they'll be different to mine, or, you know, somebody next door, or all of that. So just give that a try and you'll see exactly where to go. Now, if you want to stitch by hand, you need to mark your fabric. So you would literally take a rule. I don't have a pen in front of me. Hang on, don't go anywhere. I just take my rule and put it on the edge of my fabric like that. Can you see? There, all that seam. And just draw a line like that. So if you're hand stitching, that's what you do. You draw it on your seam and you hand stitch across there. Nice little small running stitch, back stitch occasionally. So give it a try and I'm sure it'll help you get in accuracy in your patchwork. Thanks for watching.